Good evening, everyone. I'm Renee Reyes of the Paley Center for Media. It's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the beautiful WJ Theater in the heart of Beverly Hills and to this special PaleyLive presentation honoring shrinking. We are truly delighted this evening to present this special evening celebrating the critically acclaimed Emmy Award-nominated series from Apple TV Plus and Warner Brothers, co-created by Jason Segel, Bill Lawrence, and Brett Goldstein, who all deserve a round of applause. I have a feeling, like me, that all of you fell in love with this show during its first season and the second season, and each new episode has only deepened that bond for me, and I hope it has for you as well. In my estimation, you won't find a more perfectly written and beautifully performed series on television today. Each new episode this season has been a gift to TV audiences everywhere, and that's because Shrinking isn't only giving us great, nuanced, heartfelt comedy filled with real emotion. I really feel that it's elevating the medium of television overall. That's why tonight, I do. That's why tonight, as we savor each new episode before the season finale, all of us here at the Paley Center are thrilled that you can join with us in celebrating this great show. It's my extraordinary pleasure tonight to welcome our host and moderator. He is a true media icon, a Grammy Award winner, and an Emmy and Golden Globe and DGA Award nominated screenwriter, director, actor, producer, and all-around Renaissance man. We all first got to know and love him as JD on one of the best TV comedies ever, Scrubs. And if you follow the news, we might get to love him again in that role, which would be extraordinary as well. Since then, of course, we followed him in a host of projects such as the acclaimed TV series and films he's directed, including Garden State, Going in Style, A Good Person, as well as episodes of Ted Lasso and Shrinking. Yeah. And just earlier this year, we got to enjoy him in a great part on one of our very favorite series, Bad Monkey. We've had the pleasure of celebrating his work on the Paley Center stage on numerous occasions, and we're thrilled to welcome him here tonight. Please give a warm welcome to Zach Braff.
We were all just back there chatting while you were watching the episode, and I pictured maybe 50 people in here. So when I walked in the back, I was like, oh my God, there's a lot of people in here. This is so fun. You're in for a real treat. I've hosted one of these panels before, but never with the entire cast. So you're getting everyone. You're getting all the hits. I love this show. I'm such a fan of this show. It's so fun to be a part of it in a tiny way. But we're going to have a lot of fun talking to this incredible group of people. First is Christa Miller as Liz. Ted McGinley as Derek. Jessica Williams, Gaby. Exciting up-and-comer, Harrison Ford. Woo! Mr. Jason Segel as Jimmy. Luke Tennie as Sean. Lukita Maxwell as Alice. He's very shy. Help him out. Michael Urie. Brett Goldstein as writer, producer, guest star, Lewis. And the reason all of us are here, the living legend himself, Mr. Bill Lawrence.
Brett wanted you to do, and as drunk driver, Brett Goldstein.
And then everyone's going, boo.
And as drunk driver, Brett Goldstein. Well, thank you. This is so fun, and I'm sure, as all of you are fans of the show, this is so exciting to see everybody together. Even when we make the show, we don't see everybody together, so it's so fun to have everyone lined up. Bill, I know you get this question a lot, but if I were a fan of the show, I would want to know, so I'm going to ask you something that I know. You seem to have discovered something very magical in mixing comedy and drama, unlike most writers have. It's something I learned in 2000 when we did our show together, and I have the joy of watching on Ted Lasso and now on Shrinking. What is that magic special thing that you do to create something like this? Because no one I know, and I know I'm a fan, but no one I know mixes comedy and drama on television as well as you do.
The main thing... This answer is going to be about 35 minutes. No, the main thing is to take credit for other people's work. And because I saw them coming in, Neil Goldman, who runs the show with us, and Brian Gallivan, and Rechner are right out here. Wave. You guys got to wave. There they go. Those are other writers. The other thing is getting a cast that can do hairpin turns from broad, silly comedy. I just watched the end of that last episode, and I hadn't seen it. No, I'd seen it. And watching Jason and Harrison spin from comedy into stuff that was killing me, and watching Jessica, be one of the just funniest, most dynamic characters in the world, and then just get crushed by Damon. It was amazing, right? So for them. So, but the end of the thing is, I wish I could tell you what the magic sauce is, other than that's the television I like. I grew up on shows like MASH and Wonder Years, and I used to love those shows that could turn a corner while you're laughing, and then suddenly it's breaking your heart. And then the end of that answer is, how much of a smoke show is my wife? Look at that outfit.
Come on.
I just saw that outfit for the first time. We came in separate cars. That is crazy.
She looks like distractingly hot tonight.
I know, right? I mean, I don't.
It's like, when you eat good food and you're like, damn, this food's good every 2 minutes. That's what she looks like right now. You look bomb as hell.
I don't love her being next to Ted and how chummy they are, but whatever. That's a different deal.
Come on. They look like an amazing couple. Look at them. They look like the couple that comes in the frame.
Unacceptable.
Jason, there's so much happening this season, and you are the most incredible leading man of this crazy enterprise, right? Talk about it. The hairpin turns that you have to do from the comedy to the insane drama. It's just so fun to watch as a fan. And as someone who gets to direct the show, sometimes I'm sitting there in awe of what you do.
Oh, thanks.
I wanted to say about my reaction. I haven't seen what happened. By the way, I haven't seen the episode that you guys just watched. So if I ask a dumb question, I'm sorry. But I'm sitting there watching, your daughter and your best friend become friends with the man that killed your wife, and I'm angry for you. And I know this season is about forgiveness, but I wondered if you would speak to that a little bit. There's so much to ask you, but that was the first one that popped up for me, is what it's like to play that dynamic of this season. As you said, I believe, Bill, is about forgiveness. And so it's about, really, in the macro, you and Brett having something happen between you. And I wonder if you could speak to that whole arc of stumbling across your daughter and your best friend befriending Lewis.
Well, I think that what's interesting maybe is the whole show is built around this incident of the worst thing happening and all of the aftermath that comes from that. And this is the guy who's the cause of it. Like, this is the guy who set all of these events in motion. And you want so desperately for that to be a villain and to slowly start to realize, oh, you know what, life, there really aren't villains most of the time. People are kind of doing their best and stumbling into these situations they didn't expect to find themselves in and doing the wrong thing. And so I think that the fact that Alice is at the crux of it, and on one side there's me, and on the other side there's Brett, and it's forcing me to look at like, oh man, we're more alike than we are different. It's a really complicated storyline that our writers just like wrote so brilliantly. I mean, it's really true. Like, I feel really lucky because, like, one of the reasons to elaborate on what Bill said, that I think this mix of comedy and drama is that, like, life is so clumsy. It would be easy if there were villains, you know, but it's not, and that's one of the things that Bill and the writers recognize. It's all so messy, and it's funny that it's messy, like stumbling your way through life. I don't know. I wasn't told it was going to be this tricky life, you know? And I think that that's sort of what the show explores.
Brett, it's Brett, right?
Yes, hi.
This was your first major role, I believe, since the infamous Roy Kent on Ted Lasso. And I know you're a creator of the show. Were you nervous about creating something that we all can say, because we've seen it now, is so different, 180 degrees from that character? And what was it like between your conversations with Bill and with Jason and with Neil Goldman? How did you come about doing it?
I tell it.
You can tell the truth.
Okay.
I tried very hard to not hire Brett. Now it's your story. True story.
So we were cast. I wasn't meant to play the part. We'd written the part, and we were looking for who should play it. And Jason called me and Bill into his trailer, which he's never done before.
I thought we were in
I was
trouble.
like, I thought we were in trouble. I was like, oh, fuck. It's finally happened. He's turned. And he brought us into his trailer, and he said, why isn't Brett playing Lewis? Brett should be playing Lewis. And Bill was like, I don't think so. And I was like, I don't know. And then Jason said, think about it. Give it 24 hours. And then I will say this, if I may. In the morning, I thought it's never going to happen. He's never. And in the morning, Bill called me, sent me a very nice text. Then he called me and he said, I believe in you as an artist. I do not see you as this part. But if you think you can pull it off, I will support you all the way because I believe in you. And I said, that's very kind, Bill. And then he went, but the whole season hinges on this character. If you fuck it up, Shrink is dead.
That's true.
That's true, and there was a lot of, because I was directing the episode, and there was a lot of talk about
You were the first.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about your accent and the beard. There was a lot of discussion.
That was the one thing that mattered to me more than anything, is that he couldn't have a beard. And
he was very upset about no beard.
Not for the character. I just knew how much it would bother him.
Yeah. It was awful. It was the first time in my life I'd not had a beard. I was born with one.
I will say a sweet end to that story, though, is that the very first scene he shot was in the third episode, where Alice comes into the coffee shop and screams at him. And Bill came to set and watched one take of that scene and was like, okay, you guys are good, and just left. So there you go.
I don't like doing this in public. Brett's very good.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my God, you got a compliment?
There it is.
He's never, ever, ever said this.
It took me 24 years to get one of those. Bastard.
Thank you, Bill. You're also excellent.
Harrison, I've looked through the questions that the Paley Center wants me to ask you, and I know that you're not going to like any of these. So
You're right.
Yeah. So I wrote my own question. If you were going to buy a World War II fighter plane, would you choose the P-51 Mustang or the Grumman F-6F Hellcat?
Oh, shit. Get ready.
I understand you also act.
I know you really do like planes. I thought we were going to talk about... Oh, I'll ask you a real question.
You're a little scared, aren't you?
I am a little scared.
See how easy it is?
I so felt like Jimmy in the scene right there. That's what it's like. How did Bill and Jason and Brett and Neil convince you to do this show? I'm sure you've been approached to do television before, but for the first time, these guys managed to get you to be on the show. How did it happen?
Actually, none of those people are involved. Brett Goldstein sent me a script. I read the script. He came over to my apartment where I was staying in London to discuss the script that I had read. And he came to the door, and I opened the door, and he said hello, and I said, I'll do it.
Pretty much.
Is that not true?
Yeah, you drive a very hard bargain.
Right. But I recognize a kind of writing that I have, that I always am deeply attracted to. The combination of drama, pathos, comedy, silly shit, fun things to watch, incredibly talented people having a ball, which is part of what I think is the secret sauce of this show. We have the best goddamn time. It's a sin to pay us.
You know,
No, it's not. No,
You know they don't have.
no. I don't know.
It's
We
on
don't.
tape now.
Yeah.
I think that's Harrison's agent in the aisle on his back.
Anyway, I love the material. I love the people that I'm working with. I love the opportunity to. I'll tell you what is different for me in this. When I do a movie, I sort of know what the whole thing is, and we talk about this, and we talk about that, and who's going to be in it, and blah 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 blah. This is a leap of faith that I took. I didn't have a script. I had one script for a season. I hadn't done television before. But there was something so real, so compelling, so much, something that spoke to me about through this material that I knew that I could trust the people I was working with, and I could trust myself. Because I knew this, I know this stuff. It's part of my life, and it's part of your lives. And it's, I tell you, I keep repeating this story because to me it's really remarkable. I'm taking too much time. People,
I don't think
No,
anyone
you're
wants you
not.
to stop
No,
talking.
you're not.
You're not.
Talk, please.
will we shut up for a minute? People come up to me on the street and they say, hey, I just want to tell you, my family and I watch Shrinking. We love that show. And then they walk away. I say, hey, don't you want a picture? You want an autograph? You want to know where I live? What do you want? They've done it because that's the contract that we have with each other. They don't need to think of me as a special person. This is our lives we're talking about. Our lives. It's not me, a movie star. It's me, us. And I fucking love it.
hey, thank you guys for coming. That was super
I don't know
fun.
if it's going to get better than that. I'm sorry. And Christa, I'm sorry that you have to follow that.
No.
Do you want me to skip to Ted?
Yeah, skip to Ted and
Okay.
come back. Come back to me after that.
I'll skip to Ted. I won't make you follow that. Ted, you're going to follow that.
I'm used to it. Go ahead. Yeah.
That was so amazing and incredible. Ted, people are in love with you. Yes. Anytime I'm walking around and people know I'm associated with the show, they compliment it in so many ways, but invariably they mention loving you. And I just want to say this has been such a huge thing. You started as a smaller character season 1, and little by little, Bill and the writers all saw how brilliant you are and kept increasing your part, and now you're giving you beautiful dramatic stuff, and you're turning out the most incredible acting work. And I'm a fan of yours since Revenge of the Nerds. I love you. So I guess I just want to hear, as a fan of yours, what does all this mean to you? Because you're just doing incredible work.
Thank you. That's extremely kind. And Derek is the beneficiary of brilliant writing. I'm not really doing anything. I am really just along for the ride, and that the writers have given me solid gold. And I have learned the economy of less. In the first season, I just sort of popped in, and they gave me gold every time. Not once did they give me an empty weapon. And it's such a pleasure. I'm so used to being empty. And I just am so blessed because I wasn't clever enough to arm it myself. And so here I am now with real pros, and I've been with real pros, but I mean, I'm in a place where I feel safe. And what I've learned is that I'm a guy, unfortunately, who needs to feel kind of safe where he works. And Bill has always said, if there's ever an issue, if anyone doesn't feel safe, if anyone's bothering, whatever it is, anyone's out of line, come to me. And we'll take care of it. And it has come from the top all the way down. You're in a scene with Harrison Ford. And I tell the story. I walked over and we were doing rehearsal, and I touched his hand. He pulled it away like this, and I thought, oh God, I just pissed off Harrison Ford. Now what do I do? And so he says to me at the end of the rehearsal, he says, "Do that again." And I thought, I think I just did something Harrison Ford like. So it's been such a learning experience, but Derek only exists because of these wonderful people, and talented people beyond my dreams. This is the greatest job I've ever had, and I just keep pinching myself, honestly.
Beautiful. You want to speak to that at all?
No, I'm too emotional, dude.
Well, I just want to say that. I just want to say, because I've watched from my position as a directing an episode, you going, and I have this incredible cast, holy shit, and this guy who's and you did this on Scrubs too, but this guy who's in a supporting part, holy shit, he's shining, let's keep giving him more and more, and then he keeps shining with it. And it's just so beautiful to watch as a fan of the show.
We knew in the writing room when Ted McGinley said, "Eat a bag of dick spam," with a smile on his face, that it was... I will tell you guys, the cool journey's up here.
That's good writing. Eat a dick, Pam. It's good writing.
I always like saying this.
The writing is so amazing. Eat a dick, Pam.
The only two actors that tested for the part of Dr. Cox were John C. McGinley and Ted McGinley. And that's when we met. And he would have been an amazing Dr. Cox, but we kind of formed a bond back then. And so it's very special for me to get to work with you now, man.
So thank you. I failed in my at the network with that show in the audition, and John McGinley was so much better. It was an obvious choice. I've still never seen the show because of it. I had no idea who Zach was. I just thought he was a great director. But yeah, Bill did say to me, he said, one day, because I was in tears when they called me and said, and so many of us can relate to it, on my ride home in the car, you don't want to answer the phone, you get the phone, you didn't get it, and I have tears. And Bill called me up and he said, one day we're going to do something together, I promise. And during Ted Lasso, I was like, well, I'm not watching this either because I'm not on it. Really ticked off at that one. Anyway, and then he called and said, I've got something. And it was I can't even tell you. It changed my life.
Amen. Christa, you are so funny, and what I love about this season is you're getting a chance to do so much beautiful dramatic work. I love that scene recently with you crying while braiding Lukita's hair and telling her that she has to wear sunscreen. It was so beautiful, and it summed up the show for me because I'm laughing, but my eyes are welling as it happened, and you are so gifted at that. This character, there's so many things to talk about with Liz, but I thought I'd just focus on you and Gaby because that's a lot of an audience favorite. You guys are just so funny together. Talk a little about what's the chemistry between you and Jessica, and obviously the writers have leaned into that because it's you guys have a really wonderful magic together.
I always look forward to when I get to work with Jessica because we both have. I torture her on set, but we have so much fun working. I was just watching that scene that was on Wednesday that we're doing the negotiation with Alice. We could not stop laughing. You know, it's problematic when I work with Jessica, but I do feel like we get these. I agree with Ted. You get and Harrison, you get these scripts every week, and it's like a gift. You like can't believe that you get to say these beautiful words and have the opportunity to work with such incredible people and to laugh, and also that they have your back if you're going to try vulnerable things or try things that don't work, and it doesn't matter on the show because you're safe. So like Jessica and I try all different things, and it doesn't matter, you know. And Bill uses the best things.
Yeah, well, it's so fun to watch you guys do it. And Jessica, I want to segue to you now. You are so friggin' hilarious on this show.
Thank you. I am in the wackiest fucking seat in this house right now. This is a wacky seat. There's a lot going on with these two. By the way, so please, I'm gonna connect with
All
you
right,
right now.
lock in with me,
These
babe.
are two lunatics for sure. So go on.
There's so much to ask you two, but I thought I'd start with the amazing chemistry between you and Damon Wayans Jr. I was there day one, his first episode, and watching it happen with Bill at the monitors, and just instantly, it was just like, these two need a spin-off. I mean, it was just, and I know the answer, but tell them, did you guys know each other at all? Did you have any history? Because you just fell into like such a natural, beautiful rhythm.
Thank you. No, I like comedy, and so I find that my love language is bits. I think that's one of them. If we're laughing genuinely together, I feel warm, and I watched everything that's comedy, and so I'd seen his work for like a long time. But I think the key, like with him and with the rest of this cast, because our chemistry is insane, is to find the other person inherently interesting. Like chemistry, and I feel like that's like one of my superpowers, is like trying to hone in on that. It's like finding that person deeply interesting, and then it shows on screen, like you can see it. And so it was a no-brainer. I mean, he's like fast, like he's really fast, like his brain is really fast. And so when I'm like, oh, you're like a fast car, so let's go. Like, and then it's just trying to meet everyone where they are. Like, I really try, and like, you know, a scene with Lukita is going to be different than, you know, a scene with Ted. It's going to be different than a
Talks to me like this.
This is a crazy fucking scene. This scene is crazy. He's been being bad the whole time. He's been whispering insane things. He's also been saying crazy shit over here. I'm literally, like, these guys are being insane right now. So anyway, yes, that's all. The bottom line is, yeah, chemistry is like just finding the other person really interesting and like really caring about them as a person.
You're also both just so funny riffers. I remember the very first thing we ever shot with the two of them was when she's coming with the breakup bag from the house, and we just watched. Bill and I sat with them watching the two of them riff on sex toys and dildos for like an hour.
It was really
Bill's
gross.
like, I think we have enough of the talk of the dildo and answering the dildo and.
Yeah, it was really gross. Like, he's a Wayans, so there's no. That was the scene where I was like, oh, that's right, you're a Wayans. You're like, you're gonna take it as far as it's gonna go, and I'm gonna take the bit as far as it's gonna go. I'm gonna commit to a bit no matter what. Like, so it got really gross really quickly, and we need to burn the
I remember
extra
turning to
footage.
Bill like, I don't think you're allowed to air that. He's
No,
like,
it was
you can't air that."
insane. It was insane.
I love when, anytime we do a scene, especially with you, that Bill will be like, I think we have enough of that.
Yeah, and Bill, it's like there'll be like a time when Bill will come in and be like, okay, now just, you can milk it, do whatever you want. And I'm like, you want me to milk this? So I could easily turn a 30-second scene into a 20-minute scene if you just give me the opportunity, because I'm a Leo, so that's what I like.
Lukita, I think you have one of the hardest parts of the whole season, and you're just doing such a fantastic job. I mean, the scene with you and Lewis in the coffee shop was just really, really, really extraordinary work. And I wondered, I mean, this is sort of a question for Bill and you, but why do you think Alice is so quick to forgive Lewis? Obviously it's coming from Michael's character as well, but I guess, Bill, this is a hybrid question for you both, since you wrote it, but you performed it so beautifully. Why do you think she's so quick to be the one campaigning for everyone to forgive?
I want Lukita to answer this, but I want to say something that is interesting about TV shows. All my TV shows lean into what's working. And one of the things we talked about in the writer's room with an all-star cast of absolute rock stars was when we cast Tennie and Lukita Maxwell. We said, they're young people that are going to be dropped into this world, and just so you know how TV shows work, if they weren't amazing, they wouldn't be in every scene. And so one of the things that made this show work was that even the young actresses that are kind of, just being plopped into a world like this kill in a way that you owe them this type of material. And so absolutely blown away by their performances, and I'll let Lukita answer. By the way, the mean side of that was if you sucked, you guys just would have been ghosts.
I think the scene that Alice goes into Lewis's apartment and witnesses him for the first time, I don't think she's going into it thinking that there's going to be a catharsis at the other end of it. I don't know if she knows at all why she's there. And it's not until she's faced with Lewis's humanity, his miscongeniality poster on his wall, and his photo of his girlfriend or his fiance, and that's the first time she's personified this villain. And I think that in that moment, she also does have like a verbal rage at him, and that still doesn't even give her the catharsis that she wants, or we don't feel it. I didn't feel it performing it on the day, and it's not until she gives that forgiveness that there is a breath. And yeah, I don't think it was expected for her, but yeah.
It's one of those moments, it's such a good answer. You guys know as well as I do. It's one of those moments that would have ruined the show if it was false, right? And we had two huge challenges this year with this particular storyline. And one, which annoyed me, and I told Brett, was if people didn't inherently like this character and go, oh shit, I like this guy and care for him right away, the show would be ruined. And the other one is if they didn't believe that Alice forgave this guy and it didn't make sense creatively, the finale would not work. And the finale is really good. The director killed it.
Bill
He's the
directed
director.
finale. He came to my house and he's like, wait till you see how good job I did directing. He's like, I know you're a director, but I fucking killed it.
Yo, directing's easy.
Oh my God.
Bill, you did kill it, though. Oh. You did kill it.
That's sexy because, my wife always goes, when Zach's there, it's like having a movie director. I'm like, fuck you.
All right, Michael, Urie, you are a funny man.
Michael asked me what you guys just saw, and I'm only giving him props for Zach's question. You might have forgotten, in the episode they just saw, someone asked you for a third time how you met Lewis. And you started to do that speech again, and I was watching it, and I got to the point now, I'm like, please say it again. Sorry.
I could probably still do
Well,
it.
that's my.
That is by the way, that's
No.
a dare. Can you?
No, don't do it.
Wait. Can you?
Come on.
Can you try?
buddy.
Do it, give it a shot. If you can, don't feel pressure.
He said, okay, well, what's the cue?
Well, you feel, you talk in a funny way because you feel
Yeah,
also
the cue is
awkward.
how do you even how
Okay,
did you
all right. So he said, how did you even meet him? And
how did you even meet him?
Okay, so he came here, and I was like, get away from this family, scram! And he was like, sorry. But he seemed super wounded, more like, sorry.
Yeah, buddy. He went to Juilliard.
Okay, you guys just got free Juilliard right there. Well, my question that Bill ruined is tell us how you learned that monologue.
Was that really your question?
Yeah. No, I know
It's
you.
a
We
great
all know you're
question.
an amazing theater actor, and you went to Juilliard. But that was quite a task to get that down. It must have taken you a little bit of time.
It did. I spent a lot of time on it. I also knew that I was going to repeat it. Bill told me you're going to do it, and then you're going to do it 2 episodes later. And I was like, what? That's not a thing in TV. But I knew I had to learn it. I have to learn it word perfect, and I have to learn it. I have to commit it to my long-term memory, because like in TV, sometimes you commit the lines to your short-term memory, and by the time you watch it, you don't even remember, because you do it for a few hours, and then you go away from it, and it goes away. But this was more like doing theater, where I had to commit it to long-term memory, and I knew the crew was going to be really nervous about it, because I was going to come in, they were going to see the script, they're going to be like, he's got to do what? Oh, great, we're going to be here all night for him to get this thing. So I knew, I was like, I got to get it right, and I got to get it right immediately, so that everyone in the room is at ease and we know we got it. And I think it was at the end of the day on a Friday, like towards the end of the week, and everybody's like, but I want to say that sometimes when you do TV shows, you get sides at the beginning of the day, and people are carrying them in rehearsal, and people are carrying them on set. Sometimes they're hidden under a desk, or they're like, people write notes. On this show, you don't see scripts on set. And that is in part because the material is so good that we really prepare. Jason set that tone from the very beginning. I've never seen Jason Segel carry a script of any kind. And from day one, when I saw that, I thought, okay, I gotta really up my game. He's not carrying a script. And
It's because I don't read so good.
But it is, and I've worked with actors who are like, I like to learn it like right at the very end, and that's lazy. because sure, you can wait until the very end and just follow the very last impulse that comes to you, or you could have it in your bones before the camera starts rolling, and then you could do anything. He is ready to play from the moment we start, and he set that tone. And every one of us now, I never see anybody with a script. It's very cool. So then they give me a monologue, and I'm like, okay, I gotta learn this. But it's because it's such good writing, it's easy to remember. There's not a better way to say it. Yeah, sure, once we've gotten it, we'll sometimes riff, and we'll play, and we'll ad-lib, and they'll say, okay, try something else and say something different. But the material that we walk in doing is the best way to say it, and it's so it commits itself to your memory very quickly. It's a total joy, and because we start from a place of preparedness and surety every time they start rolling the cameras, we really can play and be flexible and do it different ways. And so when we watch the show, we don't know what version Bill's going to choose, because we do so many versions of the same scenes and the same problems.
I'm excited for someone to blow their answer. Everybody's crushing.
Everyone's getting A's, Bill.
I know.
It's time for Luke Tennie! Yeah!
I forgot. He's a master answerer. Sorry.
Oh, really? Oh, Luke, there's a lot of pressure now.
No, he's gonna nail it. Go.
Nail
just
it.
Go.
Luke, you are such an extraordinary actor. Also, for those of you who don't know, Luke is also in Nickel Boys, which is a beloved film this season.
Thanks, man.
You are doing some incredible dramatic work. I was lucky enough to have a front row seat in episode 204 with Bill and with Jason to watch that incredible scene you did where you lose it at Jason. I'm getting goosebumps on my arms thinking about it. You're such a wonderful actor. I wonder if you could just talk about that arc in particular. That so much to talk about. Let's just focus on in your relationship with Jason and Harrison's characters, just for the purpose of this question. Sort of that moment where Jimmy. It's so funny because Jason's character Jimmy can't help but ask why, and then when he gets yelled at, that scene later with Harrison is so funny when he says, "You did what?" He said, "Why? Why?" Anyway, but that your performance in that scene in particular was just so extraordinary. And I want to talk about that scene and what it was like getting there with Jason, who is a great scene partner.
Well, working on great text, like what Michael said, it commits itself to your memory. And I haven't said this portion to y'all, but the night before that, my mother-in-law had planned to come out like 2 weeks from that. I had a newborn baby. I was at the crib with my lady, and she was doing everything she could to make sure I had time to memorize. And man, I was just in my bedroom the night before trying to commit this stuff to memory, and I was having a hard time. I show up to work the next day. Jason's like, "How you feeling?" I'm like, "I'm feeling pretty good." He clocked it. He's like, "Come on, let's run it." We start running it, working on it, cooking it, throwing some seasoning on it. Then I get in the room. Bill's like, "All right, close set." I'm like, "Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go." What's dope about this dude is he got a couple different hats on. He's not just actor. He got the EP, he got the W, all next to his name, you feel me? Now I'm in the room with all these people with all these different hats. And what's crazy is each and every one of them hats that they got on is another category for them to support me in. And I'm feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I got Zach over here, I got Bill over here, I got Jason over here, and we start cooking. And then the other thing that's beautiful, I've never been on a season 2 before. So this is the longest time I've ever had in this character. So I'm putting these shoes on, I'm putting these pants on, I'm putting this jacket on, I'm feeling like Sean. As we continue to work, my confidence increases. Bill tells me to let the reins go, just really just commit. I feel inspired, encouraged. And then there's another thing, it's kind of nerdy, but like there's character memory when you get to work on a show for a long time. So in that moment, I'm not just remembering the sessions I've had with Jimmy, I'm remembering the sessions, or the impromptu session that I had the pleasure of having when we were cracking open a beer in the pool house. All that stuff's at the front of my mind because I actually got to live that. In season 1, we didn't have those memories. So I'm getting to play with all of that, all that's at the forefront. And then, Zach yells action, I'm feeling the support. And then Jason over here is adding these tidbits, so helpful. And let me shine the light on you real quick, man. Because, I trained, I practiced, I rehearsed as much as I could. But what you did that day was you set the tone for my ease. You encouraged me in such a specific way. This man was like, "Hey, I see what you're trying to do. I know you want to get through to the end. Stop when you want. Poke around. Come back. They'll follow you." And I did. That was one of the coolest moments that I've had the opportunity to enjoy as a professional. I don't know where my career can go from here, especially not after that scene in episode 6 where I'm surrounded by everyone here. So I just get to live this dream. And that moment was really cool because I felt like y'all trusted me to do something that, for me, I had a lot going on, feeling insecure about the memorization and the prep. And I showed up and y'all proved to me that everything that I had was enough, which I am eternally grateful for. So thank you. And thank you to you all for setting the tone.
Wow, they were right about your ability to answer questions.
See?
Wow, that was a really special moment. I think I think you're wonderful. As a fan of actors, I think you're an extraordinary actor, and you're so fun to watch.
High praise coming from you. Thank you kindly.
You're so fun to watch.
I appreciate you.
Jason, can we talk a little bit, and Bill, I'm going to highlight you two for a sec. You got Harrison Ford in your show. You created with Brett Goldstein. What's, you know, we haven't, when last time we did this, Harrison wasn't on the panel. I just wanted all you guys to talk about the thrill of getting Harrison to say yes to do this and what it's been like. He's already rolling his eyes.
Well, I'll say something that
go ahead, Jason.
what the experience has been like for me. I have been saddled my whole life with a sense that something is wrong. I have a voice that's telling me you didn't get it quite right. You turned left where you should have turned right. Something's wrong. And the great gift that I have over the past couple of years is I have a tremendous amount of ease in my life now. Because for me, it is impossible to be standing across from Harrison Ford doing acting and have that voice win. I'm like, no, nothing went wrong. Everything is perfect. That's how I feel when I'm acting with Harrison or with the rest of my cast. I suddenly feel like, oh, it all worked out. That's how I felt the past couple years, working with everybody.
I didn't laugh at Jason's answer. I laughed because one of my favorite things is Jason will occasionally, before scenes start, if we're talking to look at me, he's like, I'm going to act right now.
Yeah. That's how you know I'm doing acting, bro.
He tells me because sometimes I'm not sure if he's going to be acting or not, but he always lets me know, and I'm grateful for that, man.
Yeah, well, because it's a seamless transition from reality to fiction.
The countdown. He'll go. All right. Sorry. 3, 2, 1, acting.
And he'll really be in it. Like he just be Jimmy after the countdown. It's absurd.
I don't want you to use not acting when you edit.
I want to and tail end thing because I don't get to say enough nice things to Harrison because we mostly just give each other shit. A true highlight in my career is I've been doing this for a long time, and to have Harrison Ford trust me comedically and to not grab me by the collar when I ask him to say, what do you want me to do, jump up and down and make my ass clap. And by the way, even though we're laughing and have the belief that if it's funny, it'll be on TV and in the film, and if it's not, that I'll protect him. I did not expect to have these type of highlights in my career at 55, and I'm very grateful for them.
Brett, there's a little more to that story of you wooing Harrison. Do you want to tell a little more about that? Your version of that story?
The build-up was Harrison.
There was a lot of pressure on you to perform.
There was a lot of pressure because I was the only one in London, and I had to go and like close the deal, and we didn't know how it was going to be, and everyone was like, "If you fuck this up, you're going to like." And I turn up at Harrison's house, and he answers the door and he says hello. I say hello. And we went inside, and if I may, he said, "Best script I ever read," and I thought he's got the wrong person. I was like, we went upstairs, and he had lots of scripts on his table, like he'd been obviously looking at other things, and I was like, oh fuck, he thinks I'm someone else, and I looked at it, I was like, this is so embarrassing, oh fuck, and I looked and I saw Shrinking, and I said, Shrinking? And he said, yeah, best dialogue I ever read. And I went, oh, do you want to do it then? And he said, yeah. And I went, all right then. And then he went, is that business done? And I went, looks like it. And he went, let's eat. And then we hung out. It was lovely.
Look, I've been doing this for a long, long time. I never thought I would end up doing this. But I already said how much I love it. But there's telling you how much I love it is not the same as telling you how much I value it. As an experience for me, as a creative person, if I may dare to say so, I have never felt as comfortable, as confident in the company that I'm in, and in the confidence that I gain. We're all saying the same thing, the confidence that we gain from the material that we're doing and our combined experience together. We don't go to work and I mean, we have a lot of fucking emotional exercise at work, and it is redeeming. It's a good place to go to practice your humanity and to see it reflect. And a person that you have not been before appears before you out of this material. And that's the joy of the job that we do. We live many lives, and it's a joy. Thank you. Thank you for this.
I think you can tell from the way like everybody talks about it, and we've all done a lot of stuff. I have not been on a cast or a part of a project where everybody gives a shit so deeply. Like everybody cares so much and wants it to be great, and everyone is challenged by the rest of the people on the show to be their best. And I don't want to let anybody down. And I want to make sure that I don't let my friends down and make sure my friends succeed. And like everybody, I know everybody feels that way from the writing staff to the actors to the camera people to every department is like, we're not going to let our friends fail in this endeavor. And like, it's awesome. It's the best feeling to be a part of this show.
Wow. You guys are great at panel, I just want to say. Every single one of you gave a more moving answer than the last. Bill, we're almost out of time. Is there anything you want to say about, maybe you can give them some hints about what season 3 is going to be about?
Well, I can say people have been so nice. You know what I don't like, all right, is the
Brett's
writers.
What did you say?
The writers and I sometimes joke that Ted McGinley is playing me. And so, so here's what I don't like. I don't like watching that shit that she did on the show this year with that other guy. It's bullshit. And I know what you're arguing is that I could have kept that from happening, but I hadn't thought it out.
I don't write the show, Bill.
When Ted gives the speech with the monologue, tell them about the monologue that you said it was something.
Oh, I don't know if you guys know the first year, but
I would imagine they do.
I don't know if TV shows are going to work all the time, and so sometimes I do things for me, and so my wife's character Liz, I intentionally had her say to Ted's character. When you retire, you gotta, you want to wear me like on a baby Bjorn and be around me all the time. You gotta find stuff to do outside of the house. And I told Ted, I'm like, you need to give this speech like it matters, because this is something that I don't have the courage to say to my wife.
I came up after the scene and he had blood in his eyes. I thought, okay, I was kind of close.
I was watching it and knowing them so well, and I'm like, oh, Bill wrote him the speech he's not allowed to say.
I mean, Ted says to me, why don't you find somewhere to go, when I'm in the house, because I'm going to be in the house. I was like, what the fuck are you saying? I didn't like that.
That's good
All
TV.
right, last thing. Do you want to tease anything?
That's good TV.
What's season 3 about? Any idea?
By the way,
you're
the best thing, because this is what the writers want me to do, is anybody got any ideas what season 3 is about?
I'm trying to hear something. I'm over here like, yo, we don't know nothing.
Because I am not lying to you. This is a true story. So I showed the writing staff, and Other people that run Dues are here too. Jeff Ingold and Liza Katz are here, and Laura. And oh shit! By the way, I got to do one other thing too, because she's absolutely killing Rachel Stubbington, who plays Summer. Stand up, Summer. Go on. What's up?
Stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up, Rachel.
Stand up.
Cheater, cheater, cheater.
Look at that turn.
No, so many great talented people involved in the show. But I showed the writing staff and Brett the finale, and I was really proud of it because I hadn't directed in a while, and I didn't want to fuck it up for all these people. I didn't want to let them down. And the nicest thing Brett said was also the scariest. Do you remember what you said about the finale?
Feels like the end.
He literally, by the way, looked at me. He's like, "How is this just not the end of the show?"
Uh-oh.
So, anyways, circling back, there's lots of cool stuff for episode.
Don't worry.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. No, I will tell you that the one thing that we decided on this show, first season is about grief. Second season is about forgiveness. Third season is about moving forward. I think, we kind of showed a great guest star in the last episode last week who kind of represents moving forward for Jason Segel. Made me really happy to see him back together again. It was such a fucking gift, But I will end with this. I don't normally do this anymore. I love doing shows that last a couple years and then go away and you do a different story. But I believe there's more stories to be told with this group. I don't think we can do like a season 4 that Jimmy wakes up and goes, "I've been thinking about it and I'm still really sad about my wife dying." But we're going to do anything we can and run through walls to try and come up with a new story for this group to tell. So we really appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much.